Hey, what's going on everybody? Today we are with the 1994 F250 7.5 liter, and what we're going to essentially be doing is a SMOG pump delete by only removing the pulley and swapping over to a different belt. The first step is to unloosen the alternator bolt to take off tension on the belt here. So grab a 14 millimeter. That was concerningly loose. Here, all you're gonna need to do is grab a hammer or something that you can beat the top of to push the alternator bracket down to loosen up the belt. Now that our belt is loosened, we should be able to slip it around the alternator pulley, around the SMOG pump pulley, and around the fan. And there's our old belt. Next, what we're gonna do is grab a pair of vice grips, place it around the pulley on the SMOG pump, and clamp it down. Next, grab your 10 millimeter ratchet and loosen the SMOG pump. The next thing we're gonna use is this tie rod separator fork to just pry the pulley off nice and simple. Here is the part number for our belt, 060473. This belt is to replace the previous one that used to wrap around 1, 2 SMOG pump, 3 crank, and 4 water pump, but now only wraps around alternator, crank, and water pump. And so it is a little bit shorter, but the same width. So all we have to do now is just wrap our belt back around and tighten up our alternator. The way I recommend setting the belt tension is by pushing up on the alternator with a breaker bar or a pry bar while also tightening your bolt here. The reason we had to take off the pulley is because it would have interfered with the belt. This is how we know that there's no air coming out, because this is the inlet to the cat. We never took this off, so there's no air coming out, which means that the SMOG pump is disabled. This truck is pre-OBD and there are no fault codes. We just went for a quick little test ride. The new belt is looking great. It's still tensioned well. The truck drives pretty much the same. It feels like it starts easier and it feels like it's idling smoother. I'm pretty sure this was a win. If anything, it's just something that the engine doesn't have to drive. It'll probably get better gas mileage, but you can probably bet that it's barely gonna be anything. All right guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. See you guys next time.